Have you ever felt like another version of you might exist somewhere else? Like maybe you chose a different meal at lunch today or took a different route home from work? Of course not. You're not that kind of person. Well, there is a scientific basis for that feeling. Because scientists theorize that there could be an endless number of parallel universes where every possibility becomes reality. But how does science explain those alternate realities? And could any of us ever visit a parallel world? Here are 10 theories about parallel universes. And is any of them true? Welcome to my channel. Number 10. Multiverse theory. Science or philosophy? When you imagine parallel universes, this is probably what you picture. Multiple realities running alongside our own, each containing slight variations on a theme. It's a fun concept for sci-fi movies. But is there any truth to it? A few physicists argue that our universe isn't the only one. Instead, they suggest there are infinite universes, each with its own physical laws. This means that anywhere could be anything. There might be worlds where gravity works in reverse, where time moves backward, where dinosaurs never went extinct. And in some of these worlds, there might be different versions of you doing something totally different. How can science explain such a thing? Well, the theory of inflation says that after the Big Bang, space expanded rapidly and randomly. Some areas inflated more than others. These days, most of the universe is empty space, which means a lot of that rapid inflation must have happened in essentially nothing. That means there could be other regions of space out there that didn't inflate at all. They're effectively stuck in the past, frozen in time. Since we can never observe them, though, is this science or just philosophy? No. 9 bubble universes. The multiverse theory suggests that our universe is really just one bubble in a vast cosmic foam. How does that make sense? Well, the theory says that our universe started with the Big Bang, but before that, the conditions were chaotic. During that initial period of the universe, quantum fluctuations could have created countless cosmic bubbles, each slightly different from the others. Those bubbles then inflated independently, creating multiple pocket universes. The problem with the theory of bubble universes is that we should have seen some collision between them long ago. That's unless they're still inflating and expanding, which leads to a pretty big question. Did our universe originate from another one? Was there a previous Big Bang? And if so, where did it come from? No! 8. Quantum many worlds. When it comes to quantum mechanics, things are uncertain until they're observed. Take a cat that's trapped in a box with a bottle of poison. In quantum terms, the cat is both dead and alive until someone opens the box and observes it. But what happens when an unobserved quantum event affects a conscious being? Some physicists say that every time a quantum event occurs, the universe splits into new branches, creating new realities based on quantum possibilities. This means that every time you make a choice, your universe splits into two. One where you chose broccoli and one where you chose dessert. According to this theory, all those alternate versions of you do indeed exist. But if that's true, where are they? The answer may be inside you. Every time you make a decision, there's a split second where you could go either way. So does that mean that every single choice you've ever made has led to an alternate universe? What about the opposite choices? Does a version of you exist where you chose the wrong spouse, where you became an evil dictator, where you never left home? Does this mean that any version of you is possible? Number 7. Brain multiverse. String theory attempts to unify the 4 known fundamental forces of nature into one, adding a 4th dimension to the 3 dimensions of space. String theory also suggests that our universe exists on a vibrating membrane or brain in higher dimensions, since it's not bound by our 3-dimensional reality. The brain can interact with other brains, which means there could be infinite parallel universes existing on other vibrating membranes. But string theory is largely considered to be a mathematical fantasy, since it has no solid evidence. As far as we know, we live in 3 dimensions, and there's no way to prove that there are more. Number 6. Mirror universes. Another parallel universe theory suggests that our entire universe, including all of its matter, space and time, is somehow reflected in an alternate world where time flows backward. In our universe, a clock moves from 10 to 9 to 8. In the mirror universe, it goes from 8 to 9 to 10. Every action in the mirror world is the opposite of our own. We eat, they excrete. We breathe, they expel air. Basically, they're living in our universe's past. The idea of a mirror universe is actually based in physics. All of the equations used to describe our universe hold true in reverse. So theoretically, there could be a world where everything happens backward. But if that's the case, do the people in the mirror world experience time normally? Would they watch their meals, leave their stomachs, or see their bodies slowly decompose instead of being born? Would they even notice? No! 5. Simulation hypothesis. In 1993, the simulation hypothesis was proposed by philosopher Nick Bob. It suggests that our world is actually a computer simulation run by an advanced civilization. If that's true, the theory goes, then we're just characters in a video game. Every move we make, every choice we face is predetermined, and nothing we experience is real. That means there couldn't possibly be any parallel universes. We're just playing the same universe over and over again. But then who's running the simulation? And could they turn it off at any point? No! 4. Black hole universes. Black holes are strange objects in space. Not only do they suck in light, but they also trap gravity. Once anything crosses the boundary of a black hole, known as the event horizon, it can never escape. Theoretically, if matter gets close enough to a black hole, it will eventually break through the horizon and get pulled to its center. But what happens next? One theory is that the matter bounces off the singularity and comes back out, restarting the universe in a new Big Bang. This means that our universe could just be the rebound child of another one. But if that's true, is there an infinite amount of universes stretching back forever? Or was our Big Bang a spontaneous generation, the first and last of its kind? Number 3. Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is a phenomenon in which large numbers of people share false memories. The name itself comes from a famous example: the belief that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s. He actually died in 2013. It turns out that millions of people all remembered him dying decades earlier. Other examples of the Mandela effect include memories of the Berenstain Bears instead of the Berenstein Bears, or the Monopoly Man S monocle, which he never wore. Some believe that the Mandela effect is proof that we recrossing over into alternate timelines where things are slightly different from our own. However, it's more likely just an example of how faulty human memory is. After all, we remember things based on context and association. No! 2. Mathematical universes. Every possible math equation could be used to describe the universe. For every conceivable variation of physics, there's a universe where those laws exist. In this model, there's a universe where 2 plus 2 equals 5. A universe where time moves backward. A universe where dinosaurs rule. And a universe where every math equation is correct. But if everything is real, does real lose all meaning? No. 1. The infinite self. Finally, if the multiverse is infinite, then there are infinite versions of everything. It's hard to wrap your mind around the idea that there are infinite parallel universes and infinite versions of you. Some of those other yous are almost exactly the same. The only difference is that they made a different choice at a fork in the road or said a different word at an important moment. Other versions of you are drastically different. In some universes, you never left home. In others, you became an evil dictator. There are probably an infinite number of parallel universes, which means there are probably an infinite number of versions of you. So are we truly unique or just one copy among countless versions? From science to speculation, parallel universes challenge everything we know and love. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you believe in parallel universes? If so, which theory makes the most sense to you? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below and remember to subscribe for more videos like this one.